So I watched a film a few weeks ago and completely forgot that I never reviewed it. And this film is called Porno. And this is a Shudder original, or it's a Shudder exclusive, or whatever. Of course, I didn't prep for this at all. I just pressed record as soon as I remembered that I didn't ever review it. But this takes place in a movie theater, which I always like when horror movies take place in movie theaters. I've always been a big fan of this setting, whether it be Demons or The Last Showing or whatever. I'm just a big fan of the theater, even like the opening of like Scream 2, which I'm not even a fan of the Scream franchise, as you know, and I'm not even a big fan of that scene, but I just love the setting. Even the Are You Afraid of the Dark episode with the play on Nosferatu. I love that shit. And that's actually kind of reminds me semi of that specific episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark, is the possessed film. In this regard, this time, it's a pornography film. So there's these kids that work at a movie theater, and the movie theater is run by this like born again Christian or Catholic or some shit guy, and he's got all these kids who work there, especially the projectionist. He has got them all super into Jesus, and so he tells them, hey, you can watch either movie that we're currently playing, which is A League of Their Own and Encino Man. And if he leaves after a prayer that they have to like do together, I mean, they might do that at the beginning of the night, and then he leaves, and I think it's at the beginning. It doesn't matter where it is, but he leaves them to watch their film, and when he's gone, the kids go exploring, and they find this secret room with this footage. And of course, they want to watch the footage. What's on it? So the projectionist begrudgingly puts it on for them. And while it's on, of course, the film lets out the entity that's within the film itself. So it's like a cursed film that, when played, releases the evil, which, as I said, is very similar to that episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark. And it's not the first or last film to do this, but most notably for me personally is that Are You Afraid of the Dark episode. The Tale of the Midnight Screening, that's with Dr. Vink with a anyway, but as far as the film goes, I liked it. I'm kind of like right in the middle with this one. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I watched it. It's not something I'd highly recommend, but it's also not one I'm like avoid. The humor in it is mostly funny. There's actually a scene where someone's genitals are mutilated. That's actually one of the most fucking like intense genital mutilation I've seen in a film. I was like, holy shit. When they showed it, I was like, whoa. Like, I don't want to say anything more about it, but like what they're doing when they show it and everything, I'm like, god damn, that's graphic. I haven't seen a scene like that for genital mutilation in a while. That was pretty intense, and as a man, I was definitely even more like, yikes, that's horrible. The film definitely plays itself very serious and very silly at the same time. You guys know how I am about even tones, and this film just seems to be a little unsure of if it's silly or not, because it does fairly get serious at times, but that's okay. I just feel like the balance might be a little off. As far as the performances, the characters and all that, they're fine. It's kind of stereotypical. One of them's like a closet homosexual, and one of them's like a closet pervert, and one of them, like, it's the obvious bullshit that you're gonna get from any like Christian kid movie where they're trying to be edgy or something. So that's to be expected, and I think the people do an adequate job. I'm not saying they do a great job. I'm not saying they do a bad job. I'm just kind of, this whole film is just kind of like fine for me. This is a totally fine film that I'm glad I watched one time. The main villain in this is a naked woman, and she's beautiful, and we get to see her naked a decent amount, and that is a huge plus. So, A plus for that. That girl's fantastic, as it should be, because it's called Porno. We should see a decent amount of nudity, although we don't see much pornography. We don't see almost any, but that's fine. But we do see a completely mutilated genital area on a man, so fuck. That's the cock that we get in this film. Not that I need to see any, but Jesus Christ, that sure as shit not what I needed to see. Although I do love it because it's graphic gore, which is my thing. But damn. So yeah, I mean, it's a fine horror comedy. Definitely let me know if you watch it, if the premise intrigues you and you kind of like one-time watch horror comedies on Shudder. Check it out. It's on Shudder. If you have it, you should have Shudder. It's awesome. I mean, I would recommend more in the line of like The Queen of Black Magic, which was just recently released on there. I think it's a much better film, but check out this one too while you're on there and let me know. Adios.